Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next segment of Spark. I'm really excited to talk today because we're going to be focused on ways to build your business. One of the ways that I highly recommend for anyone out there that's either trying to redefine their business, anyone that maybe felt like they lost their way, or what you're trying to do is even scale your business. I think one of the best ways to build, expand, and really retool a business is by identifying your ultimate signature offer. And what I want to do today is give you a little bit of background on what do I mean by a signature offer, and also talk about how it can expand, how it actually works, and why signature offers are such a go-to strategy. So I hope you're excited about diving in today's session. So if you haven't already, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. If you're driving or running or something like that while you're maybe listening to this segment, just make sure you take a mental note because we are ready to dive in. So let's get started. Let's get started with the baseline. Let's just get started with what is a signature product or service. All right. Now, when I talk about a signature product or service, this is something that you become known for. This is something that becomes the item that helps you kind of distinguish you in the marketplace. This becomes that thing that often people will use as a way to test, to try, to kind of get started with your business, with your product, with your offering. Now, I break this down that this can be on a product side. So anyone who's doing something like skincare, anyone who's maybe doing fashion, anyone who's doing vegan purses, shoes, all of those items can have a signature offer, as well as anyone who's on my service side of the business. So whether you're a coach, you can have a signature coaching offer. Whether you're a person that offers, let's say, training, you can have a signature course. If you're a person that does in-person training, you can have a signature workshop as an example. And really the list goes on and on. If you're an accountant, you can have a signature package, whether you help people with their taxes and so forth. So hopefully you guys are kind of getting where I'm going. And when I say these are signature offers, these are the things that people often will really gravitate towards. I love to pick a signature offer that's something that's very popular, very easy for someone to purchase or buy. It's kind of a go-to item for them. So if I was in the makeup business as an example, maybe one of your signature items may be eyeshadow. Now, the reason I say eyeshadow is these days, many of us are still wearing masks and so forth. And when people want to pop of something in makeup, eyeshadow may be great, because it becomes that thing you're known for. Maybe you do crazy colors. Maybe you teach people how to do natural tones. Maybe you teach people how to, build layers and so forth. There's so many different things you can do. Maybe if you were in the vegan purse environment, you may come out with a vegan purse that's a great kind of like everyday purse. And what we mean by that, that's the purse that you go to the grocery store with. That's the purse that you use when you're running errands. That's the purse that you use for things that you're doing all the time, as opposed to a purse you may do for, a special occasion or a special event. Same thing on the coaching side. When you're coaching, often I teach people to come up with what is the package that you feel that most people are going to sign up for. Say, for example, people are going to sign up for your fitness coaching, and therefore, is it your 6-week plan? Is it your 3-month plan? Is it your plan that's designed to help a person who's going from couch to 5K, couch to marathon? One of those items you want to be your signature. Now, the reason I call it signature is because it becomes the starting point. It becomes the place where a person often will start with your brand, and then from that, they can expand to, let's say the fitness example, maybe from couch to 5K. Their next offer after that may be helping them go from 5K to marathon. Same thing on the makeup side. Maybe they start with the eyeshadows, but then the next thing is helping people build signature looks for themselves, or makeup for video, since we're all on video these days, as an example. All right. Now, when I talk about these signature offers, they don't have to be something that you've never done before. They don't have to be something that's never been heard of before. Often, what it means is picking something, especially if you're already an existing business, is going through your portfolio and saying, what do you really feel would be that product or service that stands out? Some of this may be from previous data to say what people have purchased, what's been the most popular thing. And what you can do is, in something that's been popular, you can now develop a marketing plan around taking a product that you've been selling or a service that you've been selling for a while and develop marketing to encourage more people to use that as their entry point, to use that as a great way for them to get started. And instead of your marketing being just, this is my business, this is my brand, these are all the products that I offer, these are all the services that I offer, what you tend to do is create some marketing campaigns that specifically are designed to help people get into that signature offer. And what happens is now you start to build, as we would say in the biz, a marketing funnel for a specific product or service. This can help you simplify your marketing at times. This can help you hone your marketing because you can say, well, I'm creating these images on social media to promote this signature product or offer. I'm creating an email series specifically to help people become aware of this product and offer. I'm going to create a video series on YouTube, a 10-part, 6-part, 3-part video series to help people understand my product or service. And what happens is now, instead of you trying to do everything in your business, instead of you trying to focus on all the options, all the products, all the ideas that you've ever had in your business, you now can focus. And focus, in my opinion, often can yield greater growth. Now, I don't want to make it sound like you're going to ignore all the other aspects of your business. We're not going to have you ignore all the other products and services that you offer. Instead, what we're doing is we're kind of plucking one out of the crowd and giving it some special attention, a special kind of marketing focus, and really an opportunity to shine bright in your marketing so that people know where and what to do first. Because often when people come to your business, come to your brand, come to your website, if they see too many options, they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do first, second, or third. And they have to make those decisions. And instead of getting or letting a customer get into a place where they're not sure what to do, so then they don't do anything, one way to overcome that challenge is to make sure that your signature offer is front and center. This is great, especially for online courses where you can sit down and say, this is my signature course. People start here. It builds a great foundation. It helps them understand who I am, what I can help them do. This is my plant-based 101. This is my whole foods plant-based 101. This is my transitioning to vegan 101. This is fighting back against diabetes with a whole food plant-based diet 101. Those things can be your kind of signature course that people talk about, people buy, people experience. And then from that, they can go on to your other programs, bigger courses, or course suite, or maybe even membership. All right. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. Let me know if you're listening live or if you're listening to this as a replay. Let me know in the comments. Just let me know if you have any questions about that, because that's going to be key, is really understanding that a signature offer has a true purpose in your business to help you focus. All right. Now, for some of you, you may be saying, well, Stephanie, you've been talking about people that have a lot of products. People have a lot of services. I'm just getting started. Or I'm started and stopped and started and stopped, and I don't know what to do next. If you're new, if you haven't been in business for a while, or you haven't gotten to the stage where you officially launched your product or service, what I might recommend is starting with just that signature offer. Instead of trying to build out multiple options, all these different kind of variations, start with a signature and then build upon it. And what I mean by that is if you're just getting started with coaching, you may decide to start with something like a baseline 90-day program, a 8-week program. And what happens is, based on the success of that 8-week program, you can expand into bigger programs, different offerings, or advanced tiers off of that 8 weeks. And instead of trying to build everything at once, by building out this 8 week program, building out this signature kind of approach, whether it's a course, whether it's coaching, if you're on my service side of the business, by getting started there, what often happens is based on the success, based on the feedback, it will help guide you to your next product or service. It will help you understand where to go from there. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my goodness, Stephanie, just having like one course or one service, is that enough? You can definitely have a signature coaching program, one signature coaching program. And what I tell most people to supplement or get some variety going, then you add, consulting, 1 hour packages, 2 hour packages that are ad hoc. And that way you still have that signature focus is where you are, but it does give people a little bit of flexibility if they just want to get started with an hour or two. And setting up an hour of consulting or 2 hours of consulting isn't a lot of work. Therefore, you just kind of add it to your site, do a Calendly link or something like that, and you're good to go. All right. Same thing on the product side. You'll see this a lot of times where people will start with the signature product and then they'll expand from there. Then they'll go and offer let's say in the skincare line of business, maybe you're coming up with your signature moisturizer that may start with sensitive skin. And then you may expand from there where that moisturizer is going to work for people who are oily skinned. You can expand from there and going to work with people who have dry skin, as an example. So you take one baseline formula, get some success there, and then expand. And therefore, your business becomes geometric at that point. Your business becomes a business that is built around success. I talk about this a lot when I talk about building a business. And what I want you to do is think of the strategy of this signature offer as your way to do that. Now, some of you may say, Stephanie, I can't launch a website, especially if I'm doing skincare products, or especially if I'm doing fashion or purses or shirts or anything like that. I can't just have one item on there. And I completely understand. You may say, you know what, I want to start with a suite. You definitely can. But what I want you to do is start with something that you can turn into your signature offer. So if you have to put 5 purses on your site, these are 5 potential candidates for your signature offer. And this is almost like their auditioning period, where you're going to put them on the site to see which ones do people like, to see which ones do people gravitate towards, to see which ones are creating the buzz, to see which ones are being liked on social media the most. And then as you gather that information, then you may take those 5 purses that you put on your vegan site for your purse line. And when you look at those 5 and see if one starts to rise to the top, then we can start to develop marketing around that signature item. All right. And I hope that makes sense for most of you out there. I hope as you're listening to me today, I'm getting some head nods because you're like, oh, I get it. Instead of me building everything I wanted to build in the beginning, instead of me kind of trying to accomplish everything at once and trying to build a ton of products, what I can do is focus on a few offerings and expand from there. Now, the thing about signature offerings, one thing that makes a lot of people nervous about signature offerings is they're like, well, how am I going to serve everyone? How am I going to help everyone when I have this signature offering? And the one thing I want to mention, or one thing I want to talk about, is that the purpose of you being in business, the purpose of you running a business, the purpose of you having a business is making sure that you fill either a void in the marketplace, a need in the marketplace, or a desire in the marketplace. And what happens is when you understand what that is, your signature product almost fits in there like a hand going into a glove. It actually fits right into that need. One thing that many of us make a mistake on is when we start our businesses, we want to help everyone. We want to change the world. We want to save animals. So therefore, we want a purse that everybody can use. We want makeup that everybody can use. We want a fitness plan that everyone can use. We want healthy coaching programs that everyone can use. And the problem with offering something, one item or a couple of things to everyone, is that it doesn't allow you to differentiate yourself. You can take your business and almost turn your business into a generalist business if everything you do is for everyone. And what can happen is, as a consumer, people can struggle with seeing, is this purse right for me or is that purse right for me? Or when they're comparing brands, they may go, well, that's for everyone, but I want something for me. And therefore, what I want you to do is make sure that your marketing, your products, your services are designed for specific people. Therefore, you want to feel a little niche at times. You want to feel a little targeted at times, because what I'd rather you do is a way to start to help a larger base of people is making sure that you have a viable product or offer for each and every segment. Now that takes time. Over time, you'll see how many segments you want to have over the years. And honestly, most businesses only have a few segments that they serve. But I bring this up because when you try to do it all at once, you're not using that step by step approach that we really find that we all use. And really is the step by step approach that we all learn by. It's the step by step approach that we all accomplish many things by. Now, I don't want to slow you down. I don't want to make it sound like you can't do it all. But what I want you to do is I want you to do it with finesse. I want you to do it efficiently. And for many of us who are running businesses, we're doing it on a tight budget. So what I want you to do is be able to expand based on something that worked, as opposed to launching 20 purses, 20 makeups, 7 different offerings, all these different fitness courses, and trying to figure out which one will work. Instead, by really sitting down and saying within the market, who do I serve and how do I distinguish myself so that every time my customer will choose me over the competition, and every time my customer will be delighted to buy, to purchase, to actually use my services or products because I am hitting the mark every single time. And a lot of times that means focusing down and making sure that what you offer really services your customers and distinguishes you in the market. Okay? Now, the last thing to talk about is, let's go do this. So now that I've talked about signature offerings, now that I've talked about the idea, what I want to do is inspire you to take this leap now. What I want you to do is think about what you could and should be doing next if you are excited about this strategy, if you're excited about the idea that you can really better service your customers out there. You can better distinguish yourself in the marketplace. You can truly find some focus that you've been looking for in your business. You can truly maybe make a leap forward in success, whether it's orders sold, whether it's products you're getting out there, or whether it's the number of people you help, you coach, and become your customers and clients. A lot of this can happen with that signature offer. So if you're ready to make that leap, what I want you to do is start to create an action plan. What I want you to do is start to think about, how do I focus? Where should I focus? And for me, when I build my plans, when I think about I want to build my business up, when I want to change my business, when I want to move my trajectory, often I think about doing things in like 60-day and 90-day projects. And I bring this up because for many of you, you've been in business for a while. So a lot of what you're doing is just focusing. And some of this focus may not even necessarily mean that you have a ton of products. You may still have one wholesale product. But when you have one wholesale product, the question is, are you working with restaurants? Are you selling it into food services like catering? Are you going to be selling it in bulk? Are you doing bulk shipping and you're trying to get into grocery stores? Where are you trying to go? So what I want you to do, especially if you haven't seen the growth that you think you should have, if you haven't seen more and more people taking up and really trying and testing your product or service. If you're trying to maybe expand from your local market or kind of get that nationwide coverage, or if you're trying to increase the number of orders that you process per day, by getting into the signature offer and sitting down and saying within the next 60 days and 90 days, this is what I'm going to focus on for expansion. And what you need to do is, number one, define the signature offer. So what makes it unique? What makes it distinguishable? What makes it stand out from the other products in your portfolio? And what else makes it stand out between the other offerings in the market? Being able to articulate that, write that down, what's going to be key from here is then we need to start changing some of your marketing so that signature offer is front and center. Some of that may be making sure that it's featured on a homepage. Or if you have a shopping cart and you know how, like at the top of the shopping cart, it can have, like on a homepage, it can have like a slider rotating between images. You might want to make sure your signature offer is there. If you have a traditional website, maybe you want to do an announcement bar at the top that talks about your signature offer. Maybe you want to have a pop up that comes up for the next 30 to 60 days, letting people know about the signature offer. And maybe you have a deal even on the signature offer. Don't have to have a deal, don't have to have a discount, just throwing it out there. But the idea is start to incorporate places in your marketing so that this signature offer can be featured. Then start to look through each one of your channels and see how you can feature this signature offer. Whether it's doing, like I mentioned earlier, some 2-part, 3-part, 4-part series. Maybe you do some explainer videos on YouTube that explain the product and service, explain how it works, explain why you created it, and then back to some of those core ideas of why is it different from what else is in the market. Why is it even different a little bit from what you offer in your other products and services? Why people should use this as their first step or their first product to purchase and buy from you. Explain that in video content, share those videos in social media, share those same videos in email. And these are the things I want you to start to do in that 60-day, 90-day window of focusing on getting your signature offer up and running, redefining that signature offer, and starting to see maybe some sales and things turn around from it. All right. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. I wanted to make sure that as you're considering what's next, as you're looking at the second half of the year, and as you're thinking about how do I continue to build my reach? How do I continue to take my business to a new level? A signature offer strategy is such a great thing to do. It's a great thing to test and try. And it's a great way to kind of refocus your marketing for a specific period of time, because the idea is that I said 60 days or 90 days. It doesn't mean that we're going to neglect all the other products and services you have in your portfolio. We can get back to those, but by focusing in on it, by really defining it, or if you're in the new phase, by getting it up and running, getting some initial customers in it, you'll have a better sense of what people think distinguishes you in the marketplace. Are people willing to give it a try and buy it? And can this be something that helps you grow and reach other people and expand your business so that you can do more, you can help more people, and ultimately save more animals? All right. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you in another one of our segments in Spark. Take care, everyone. Bye.